Welcome to this lesson on adjusted R-squared. If you are learning about regression analysis, you have probably already encountered R-squared. But there is a trap waiting for you if you rely on it too much. Today, we are going to learn why regular R-squared can be misleading, and how adjusted R-squared fixes it by accounting for the number of predictors in your model. First, let's quickly refresh our memories. R-squared, or the coefficient of determination, is a number between 0 and 1 that tells us how well our model fits the data. A score of 1 means a perfect fit, while 0 means the model explains none of the variability. It is the most common metric we look at to judge a regression model. However, R-squared has a major flaw. It is biased towards complexity. Every time you add a new variable to your model, R-squared will either stay the same or go up. It never goes down. This means you could add completely useless data, like random noise, and your R-squared score would technically look better or stay the same. This encourages overfitting, where we make models too complex just to chase a higher score. This is where adjusted R-squared comes in to save the day. It introduces a penalty for every new variable you add to the model. Think of it as a quality control filter. It only allows the score to go up if the new variable improves the model more than would be expected by pure chance. It values quality over quantity. Let's look at the formula. You don't need to memorize this, but notice the two key letters, N and P. N is the number of data points you have, and P is the number of predictors or variables. This part of the equation acts as a weight. As P, the number of variables, increases, the formula adjusts the score downwards to penalize you. Imagine a tug-of-war. On one side, adding a variable usually improves the model fit slightly, which wants to pull the score up. On the other side, the penalty term pulls the score down because you added complexity. For the adjusted R-squared to actually rise, the improvement in fit must be strong enough to overpower the penalty. If the new variable is weak or useless, the penalty wins and your score drops. Let's look at a real-world example predicting house prices. In Model A, we use square footage, location, and bedrooms. We get an R-squared of 85%. In Model B, we add a completely useless variable, the owner's zodiac sign. Notice what happens. The normal R-squared actually went up slightly to 85.1% just by random chance. But the adjusted R-squared dropped from 84.5 to 83.9%. It correctly identified that the new variable made the model worse, not better. Here is a graph to visualize this behavior. The blue line is normal R-squared. As you keep adding more and more variables, it keeps climbing, giving you a false sense of security. The yellow line is adjusted R-squared. It rises at first when the variables are useful, but once you start adding junk, it peaks and starts to fall. That peak represents the optimal number of variables for your model. So, when should you use which metric? If you are doing simple linear regression with only one variable, normal R-squared is fine. But in data science and modern statistics, we almost always use multiple variables. In that case, you should always ignore the normal R-squared and look at the adjusted R-squared. It is the professional standard for comparing complex models. To summarize, normal R-squared can be tricked by adding more variables, even if they are useless. Adjusted R-squared solves this by adding a mathematical penalty for complexity. It guards against overfitting and helps you build models that are efficient and accurate. Remember, in statistics, a simpler model that explains the data well is almost always better than a complex one.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.